Cycling is a great way to get fit and stay fit, but the right nutrition and healthy eating practices do go hand in hand with that.
If you're just starting out or you're beginning to think how you can improve your diet, we thought we'd give you a few common nutritional mistakes you want to avoid.
First up, you can't out-train a bad diet. So you may be putting in big miles on the road, working really hard, getting your training in shape, and you're starting to feel good. But if you're not replicating that off the bike by putting the right foods in you at the right time, having a good balanced diet, then things are gonna deteriorate. You need to make sure you're looking after yourself. A good quality diet, eating the right foods, otherwise all that training will go to waste. You won't see any improvements. And to be honest, you'll get to a point it all deteriorates rather rapidly. Whew. Can't outrun a bad diet.
Just because you change your diet to contain healthier foods, it doesn't mean you can eat as much as you want. Bananas, olive oil, avocados, nuts and seeds, all foods that dietitians would recommend. And they're great for your overall health and your cycling performance.
Yeah, but our point is that you shouldn't just focus on one single food. You shouldn't go out and eat 10 bananas or just eat avocado for the day. The key is balance, making sure you have plenty of variety in your diet, a really balanced diet too, getting all the different sorts of foods that you need to have a healthy lifestyle. And also not cutting out certain foods which may be considered bad. Still enjoy your flapjacks, still enjoy your packet of crisps, still enjoy the sweets you may like as a bit of a treat
Cookies.
after mealtime. Don't cut those out, but just focus on having a well-rounded, balanced diet. That's the key to making sure that you don't, feel negative about your food and potentially cause more damage than positives.
Bit of everything.
Yeah. And enjoy that flapjack.
A
Preferably
big
in
flapjack.
small mouthfuls. Like that. Plenty of us have been guilty of trying particular diets, detoxes, or eating patterns over the years. Many of these are actually fad diets with little to no evidence that they actually work. And whilst they may work in the short term, nearly always they're impossible to sustain, don't have the healthiest approach to food, and actually, because you can't sustain them, they result in yo-yo dieting, so your weight changes quite drastically, going up and down over a certain time period, which is something you definitely want to avoid.
There's plenty of research out there that shows that managing a healthy weight comes from sustainable changes to your lifestyle. Try not to think, what can I do to lose a few pounds, but more, what am I happy doing or not doing to maintain a healthy weight?
I don't know about you, Manon, but some of the worst mistakes I think I made back when I was racing was simply not eating enough. I always thought that I could just train and then cut back on my food, and then that would then have the knock-on effect of allowing me to improve. But actually, looking back, I should have just eaten way more. I should have got plenty more carbs in. I should have fueled up for those rides, and then I'd have trained harder as a result, and I think I'd have actually achieved a better performance by doing that. What about you, Manon? What sort of mistakes have you made back when you were racing?
I think my biggest mistake was not eating enough when I was actually training and racing on the bike. Like they said, everybody always drills into, oh, you need to keep fueled on the bike, and you're like, yeah, whatever. It's actually a lot more than you think you need to eat. It's not just like a bar an hour, it's like 2 bars every half an hour when you're racing and keeping those energy levels topped up. And it really does come to bite you when you don't keep fueled on the bike.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually, and I feel the same, because when you don't eat enough on the bike, you might be able to get through the session, but then when you get home, you'll have an hour or two, and then suddenly the hunger can just hit you. Yeah, so you might have crept through the end of that ride, and then you've come home and you have to eat so much just to get back on top of things, whereas if you'd gradually kept things topped up throughout that ride, you'd have been a much better place.
Especially in stage races as well, and if you undereat on day one, you're not getting through.
Yeah, it's so hard to bring yourself back round. It's just that knock-on effect day after day. Yeah, tough to bring yourself back from.
Don't get caught up in the trap of seeing food as a reward. And what I mean by that is being in the mindset of you go out, you do 100 miles and a lot of exercise, and then you think, oh, I've done all of that, I deserve a slice of cake and all this food. Food is a fuel, and you need to fuel up your body for that ride with lots of nutrients and carbohydrates.
Exactly, Manon. You need to use your food as a fuel, because then you're going to get the most out of yourself. So you need to make sure your body is prepared for the work it's about to do. So fuel up beforehand, then you'll get a great ride done when you're out on the road. And also bear in mind, if you are training harder, riding longer, you're gonna need to eat more. And if you don't, you might get away with it for a day or two, but then the third or fourth day, that's gonna hit. That's when you get super hungry and it's really hard to stay on track.
It's gonna come back and bite you, isn't it?
Back and bite you. Excuse the pun. We all like to push ourselves to our limits when we're out on our bikes. I love doing that myself, but if we apply that to our food and our nutrition, then we can really be in danger of depriving our body's ability to carry out some basic tasks.
Yeah, definitely. Intense training schedules, reduced sleep, fussy eating and poor nutrition can all put athletes in risk of getting REDS.
Yeah, REDS is relative energy deficiency in sport. So think of it as if your phone runs out of battery, it goes into battery saver mode, and its ability to carry out certain tasks is reduced, it works a lot slower, and that's the same in your body. So if you are continuously not getting in enough energy than you're burning out on the bike, then some of those basic functions just don't start to work as well from day-to-day life. So you can suffer from symptoms like increased fatigue, moodiness, mood swings, and also weight loss. You can be actually underweight and suffer from REDS. So you want to make sure that you're topping up that energy, getting the fuel back in, and really replacing everything you're burning out on the bike, because otherwise in day-to-day life, you're really going to start to suffer. Let us know in the comment section down below if you've ever made any mistakes in terms of nutrition and how you then went on to rectify that. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And thanks for watching. As always, we're going to admire the view. And I think we're going to have a nice cafe stop.
Very lovely view.
Beautiful time of year, autumn.
Is that cloud in the shape of a double chocolate chip cookie brownie? I think it is.
I don't know, it looks like a banana to me.
Banana? What kind of bananas are you eating?
Ripe ones.